Yo, what's going on, everybody? Collision Works here. Welcome to our first defensive guide of the year. I know this one is kind of long overdue, but today, guys, we're going to be breaking down my coverages. Obviously, before we've already posted my go-to blitzes to start the year. Again, I am in the 3-4 alternate playbook. Some people call these the generic playbooks, just so you know. It's not a specific team. It's just going to be the 3-4. Now, guys, listen, the main formations I want to talk about in this video for our coverage, for our blitzes, is going to be the 2-4 double mug, one of the easiest defenses to run. 3-3, it's a great coverage defense. The 3-4 odd, I absolutely love. It's great in CFB. It's great in Madden 25. And then, of course, the 2-3 out of dime. This is going to be the 2-3 Sam. Now, this is not as good as, let's say, 3-2-6, for example, out of dollar, but you guys see there's a lot of similar looking plays, and there's some setups that we can do that are going to be pretty similar. The main disadvantage to this formation is we kind of struggle with shifting our defensive line. It's not the same as dollar. That's why it's not as good, but it's still really good formation to have in our arsenal. So let's go ahead and begin, guys. To start, I'll go ahead and just talk about, let's go and talk about 2-3, get that out of the way, just because this is probably what I run the least of, but still, there's always, you know, an opportunity for it to be ran. So I'm going to be talking mainly about like bunch and trips, tight, really anything else. I just feel like those three formations can kind of give you a reference of what to look at depending on what kind of, you know, alignment they're coming out in. So like I said, we'll go ahead and start here with bunch. I'll just do Y trail, very simple setup here. Guys, for my coaching adjustments, auto flip I typically have off. I really like being in control. If I'm going against somebody who is running bunch, probably going to be running baseline majority of the time. The only time I don't run baseline is if I'm in a man blitz, like double mug or something like that. I'm going to want to stay to default. Baseline is going to be our auto alignment. Option, conservative, why not? Flats, listen, guys, I haven't played in probably like a week, so I don't think that this has been patched yet, but as of now, flats and purples are glitched, so flats, I'm going to have them set to 5. Curl flats, I'm going to set to 30 or 25. I typically come out in 25, and if somebody's really, you know, messing with me with some weird, funky corner route, if I need to go deeper, I can. If I need to go shorter, I can. Obviously, we have a switch stick, but for me, I'm going to run 25. And then hooks, this is kind of up to you. I do 20 against someone who's running bunch or trips. I like this a lot. It helps with vertical routes. It really is a sleeper adjustment. It's really, really good. So those are my coaching adjustments. Let's go and get into it, guys. To start, one thing I didn't mention in our last video was the free safety zone blitz. Like I said, this is not as good as it was in years past with the 3-2 Sam, but it can still get pressure. So if you guys remember last year, what we would do is we would go ahead, I think, pinch the D-line and maybe crash up or slant outside, however you like to word it. In this formation, though, you guys are going to see if I try to pinch my D-line, you guys see nobody really moves. It's not really a pinch. They just kind of just walk around. Nothing really major with this adjustment. But what you guys will see here is we still have an opportunity. You don't need to pinch either to get the A-gap. It's just one of those things where you can send for and still have a chance to get through. Like I said, you don't need to do any type of spreading. You're just going to sit here over the right guard, and then you guys can put the free safety here and really anything. You guys put them in a deep half, a hook curl, which we know is going to be playing 20 yards off. So it can be a really good adjustment. It's not going to come through every time, but it's just easy pressure. And even if he doesn't come through, it's still kind of going to look like he's going to come through, which is nice. But if you guys want to get pressure, one setup I like to do for the 2-3 Sam is you're going to go ahead and pinch your linebackers, and then you guys are going to see when we do that, that safety's going to back off, but he's going to come right back down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get over this right guard again, and like I said, all we've done here is just pinch the linebackers, and if we go ahead and make contact with this guard and peel off, this linebacker is going to come through because that safety is going to go ahead and take that left guard. So we obviously have a weakness here on the left side of the field. Obviously, because there's no zone there, you know, if we wanted to do something like this, like a vertical hook with Y, we could go ahead and, like, you know, avoid like a quick slant or even the post that he's on, because we're going to have the vertical hook playing that. You guys see X is covered there, and we're able to get our pressure over time. Right there, they picked it up, but we still had good shed defense. So that was just it for that quick little blitz. I'll do it one more time, then we'll go talk about coverage. We're going to wait for him to come back down. Hopefully the opponent's making his adjustments. We go ahead, try and make contact with the right guard, peel off. Linebacker comes through with easy pressures. The best blitz in the world? Absolutely not. I don't really think any blitz in this game is the best in the world, because obviously every blitz can be countered, and not every blitz should be ran every single down. So with that in mind, let's go talk about coverage. Guys, with bunch, listen, majority of players, unless you're playing against Henry or you're playing against Skimbo, Young Kiv, guys, all they're going to be doing is attacking the seams and the sideline. most bunch players are ass, and that's just the reality. So that's why I really like having my vertical hooks set to 20, because I always know verticals, or in this formation, it's going to be called Seattle, is going to be a thing for them. And I always know that Y trail or corner strike, which the sideline, is going to be an option for them. So, for example, if I go ahead and come out here in corner strike, I can go ahead, come out here in the free safety zone blitz again, and I can go do something like this, where if we know, we want to go ahead and get a Mabel coverage going, I can go ahead shade underneath. I can go ahead put my linebacker here in a purple, so now I have that side of the field covered, and then I can go ahead and make my adjustment here with my safety, and go ahead and play a Mabel high-low on the right, where I know, they're going to probably have some type of pulling guard, and then an underneath with their, tight end, just like you guys see here, probably in a real game. This corner is going to be going a little higher, looks something like this. But you guys get, what we're going for here. Something like this, where if they were to try to run something like Y trail, where they had their X on a post, guys, our vertical hook's going to cover that, where, really our only responsibility is just to watch any type of like quick throw to the seam somewhere in this area of the field, and then kind of come back to the middle and kind of play. And we have pretty much everything, covered. Now, I know that this is just, one play here, but we're kind of showing how we can really maximize the coverage of a cover 3, and we haven't even talked about using a switch stick. So really one of the best coverages, in my opinion, against a cover 3 is just, a cover 3 hard flat with a Mabel. We're going to have that purple run high, and then we're going to go ahead and have a nice, deep running vert hook on the opposite bunch side. So you guys see here, I'm playing this middle linebacker, and I have my, vertical hook to the solo receiver side. So I'm going to put my user here in a spy. I'm going to put my user in a spy because we're still going to be able to have that extra 4-man pressure. If you guys are unaware, if you want to have your 3-man pressure come through better, you would typically in years past blitz your user and then come down so you see that check over your head, and that would make the game think you have a 4-man rush. But what they did to kind of balance that is they made it, if you were blitzing your user, you can't switch stick. So what we're going to do is, instead of blitzing our user, we're going to put them in a spy, make sure that check is above our head, and the game's going to think it's a 4-man rush, so our 3-man's going to get through quicker, and we'll still be able to switch stick. So again, I don't want to kind of beat a dead horse with these sideline plays, but if we were to go ahead and come out in something like Seattle with a table route on the running back, something like this, is it the best thing? Probably not. Maybe you would see something like an in route maybe. But what we have here is, if we go and come out in this same look where we did a cover 3 with a Mabel, right? One thing I want to talk about here, guys, is if let's say, for example, somebody's going to go to the flat. It's just going to be one person, right? Instead of using a hard flat, guys, let's say we want, this number 2 receiver B to be absolutely covered, and we want to make sure he's being played. If you want to sacrifice your hard flat with a simple man adjustment, have that be your hard flat, if that makes sense. That way, this DB is always going to stay on him, playing underneath on that man assignment, and then, he'll kind of go ahead and follow him up. So just don't forget, if you have a hard flat just because you think the running back's going to be on a table route, or, a receiver's going to be on a flat route, sometimes, guys, it's just better to have a man assignment there instead of the hard flat. It's going to help him just stay on that player. That way, you're going to kind of, he's not going to be able just to go ahead and route bounce upfield and get away from that zone. That man assignment will go ahead and follow him throughout the play. So just keep that in mind. One thing I want to show here, though, with Seattle, which I'm just going to call verticals, is how good these vertical hooks can play, where if we were to go and snap this ball, get to the seam, kind of let him pass on, and then we can go switch stick to the vertical hook, as right there I completely shit the bed and switch stick to the safety because I'm setting down my controller. But you guys see that 20-yard vertical hook, if he was in a default vertical hook like right here, I mean, this is an easy high ball all day to 80, and then he's going to be able to get some easy yards. But this 20-yard vert hook literally lets our user pass him over to the left side of the field, and then, like I said, we can switch stick to this any day of the week to go ahead and play this if we really think he's going to commit to it. So just keep in mind, if you're playing against a trips tight end player who's always abusing the seams, or a bunch player who's trying to use these crosser routes or seam, streaks to try and take advantage of you, these vertical hooks set to a high zone drop are going to be your best friend. This is how you're going to be able to stop these deep crossers with the high-low, where typically one of these are going to be open. Right here, I failed my switch stick, so he obviously is open. But, if we go ahead and make a play with this guy, get a switch stick, we're in a much better, place on defense. And even, early in the play, if we're sending up a pressure or we're trying to send a blitz, this is covered for the entire, let's see, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Like, if we're sending pressure, we're going to be able to, make sure we have these bases covered, and the play is going to take too long to develop. We're going to get that pressure for us. So just keep in mind, if you guys are going against meta players, they always want to look deep. It's flashy, it's fun. We can literally cancel all of those measures and get their offense put away with utilizing our zone drops effectively. Mabels, I typically like on the bunch side. It's not always going to be the case, but against most players, I think you're going to be pretty good. Cover 2, I hate this year, me personally. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's absolutely dominating with it. I just don't use it much. It's not really my cup of tea this year. I really think cover 3 hard flat with switch stick is an absolute game changer. But like I said, this defense, I ran a lot last year. Don't really run it too much this year, even though that is subject to change. But for now, easy pressure where we can go ahead and just pinch, get a little something like this going. If we want to just commit with the blitz, we can. If we want to go ahead and drop somebody into coverage, we can do Y, and he can play the vertical hook out of 4 verticals. We can go ahead and man up, the safety. Like I said, if we know like this running back is going to be going to the sideline, guys, just man him up. And you guys are going to see that's sometimes way better than as he's just not manning up at all. I don't know why Jordan Lewis manned up to him. I don't know if I have match on or what that was about. I guess I got to turn off my match anyway. But you guys see what I mean. Sometimes you can just throw away those zones to go ahead and help you with the underneath options. You can just replace it with a man assignment. But really, like I said, even like cover 4, you can kind of just play hard flat, have really good effectiveness out of it. Just make sure you're kind of using the seam of the bunch side. But like I said, for bunch or for dime 2-3 Sams, it's kind of like my coverage defense. Don't really play it too much, just because I have a lot of success out of the 3-3, 3-4 odd, and double mug. Now, for the double mug guys, you can do kind of what we were just talking about a moment ago, but with nickel dog 3 buzz. So I can just go ahead and run, Y trail here. What you guys are going to see is some people will literally just sit in here with a pinch D line, crash down all day, and then they kind of just user this, and then they go ahead and, write up their defense like so, or they might, even go ahead and zone these guys out like this, and then go ahead and just send a 4-man A gap, go ahead and plug that right side seam with a vertical hook so they can't, quick throw it to you. And then, you guys are going to be getting your A gaps here, with your 4-man rush. I mean, this is a very common defense you guys will probably have already seen, or you will see, it just as the game progresses. A lot of people are still running the man version. You don't have to run the man version. The 4-man with the double flats are just incredible, as you guys see, right here. And we still have zones all over the field. We're only sending 4, and then we're getting through literally every single time. So, that's just kind of what I mean, when it comes to sending pressure out of double mug. The only thing is when you crash down, you really need to remember that you have to rezone these guys out, because when you crash your D-line down, those outside edges will go ahead and drop out of their zone. But we want to make sure we have that blitz angle going down to go ahead and get this pressure. As for going against this, I'm praying for you, man. It's just one of those blitzes that are inconsistent, which makes it really tough to go against. You can always even mix in a press here if you'd like. You can even mix in a man assignment if you'd like to do something like this, and you guys could take the middle. So, if you think he's going to be coming across the middle on the right side out of Y trail, something like this, you guys can go ahead and just let that safety play that area of the field, and you kind of play over the top like so. So there's ways that you can really explore and go about this. I know I'm really just yapping and rambling here with the cover 3 blitzes, but it's just because I want to make points known how this defense can kind of play in multiple formations against multiple formations. Against something like trips, for example, if we go ahead and do, I think Washington probably has like a tray. I guess we can just go ahead and do this out of trips halfback week. It's probably fine. They have verticals. I guess they have all go. That's what we're going to go ahead and run this out of. But, if you guys are struggling here out of the seam, let's say somebody keeps, quick snapping you, and they go and snap the ball here, and they go ahead and dart this in. Obviously, it doesn't look super good there. You guys know, in game, the seams can go crazy. That's where these vertical hooks are really going to do us good, where we don't even have to use this slot blitzer. We can go ahead and just do something like so, and then go ahead and bring this safety down. User this right here. And if they want to try and throw this seam streak against, our vertical hook that's going back 20 yards, I mean, good luck, dude. I mean, you're just not going to throw that right there. Unfortunately, 4'7" Jordan Lewis doesn't animate, but those vertical hooks are going to be a huge part of our defense against meta players. I mean, you guys see what I mean. Vertical hooks are going to be a blessing for you, and if you guys haven't been using them deep, this is really going to change your entire, approach to defense in Madden. Is taking advantage of these vertical hooks as, one of your deep zones, really using it as a deep zone. So, right here, we're just in position. If we want to drop it back further, we can. We can go 25. We can go 30. Just know one huge thing with zone drops is, if we have him set to 25, right, which I think we have it set to 25 or 20. If we want to help him out, we can go ahead and manually back him off and then get into our player. This will always help out. If we wanted to have a 30-yard zone drop here on D-Law, can't expect him just to run back 30 yards immediately. It's always going to help, to kind of get him back in position first and then switch off. Obviously, this formation, he's going to come back down, but you guys know what I mean. Putting your players in the best possible position are really going to help them in maximizing their effort at getting to the zone drop in that area of the field in which they're supposed to play. But anyway, that's enough yapping for cover 3. I've literally been talking for 15 minutes. I apologize. It's just defense to me. It's not just a written play. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be talked about. You got to know kind of your ins and outs of what you're gonna experience. As for like match things like that, guys, I don't run match. I think it's ass this year. So it's never really in my scheme. Plus for me, I just try to blitz the hell out of people in man and in zone and just let the pressure come through. As for the mid blitz, I talked about this already, guys, but I saw Throne. I was watching one of Throne's videos, and he like plays the actually I'm not in a man align, so can I go ahead and do that here? Yeah, that kind of did it. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, what I saw Throne doing was he would do the same exact setup, but I think he would use the running back side end. So I don't know why Jordan Lewis keeps running back. I wish I could stop him, but what he would do is just play like this. I think he would even bring this guy over. I mean, this isn't my defense. I saw Throne running it, and about 500,000 people watch his videos. So that is public information at this point. So, just know that's an option for you as well. I didn't talk about that in our last video with the setup, but still all you're going to do is just pinch and go ahead and do all that. You can throw your guy in the zone if you'd like to switch stick. Go ahead, snap the ball, and, go ahead, just generate your pressure like that. But, it's kind of however you guys like to set it up. Just know that's an option for you. But one thing I also want to talk about a lot is run defense. For run D, I will be utilizing 3-4 odd. Yeah, any run play in the game, I'm very confident we're going to be able to blow it up. I'm unfortunately uneducated right now in what the best runs are in the game. But, really anything. If I can try and find like some typically good stretch play that we've all seen before, maybe out of like wing pair, if they have it. Of course they don't. They have 26 duo. Is that a good one? We'll talk about it either way, because you guys are going to see we're going to be able to change it up. But if I wanted to come out here and cover 2 or cover 4, I think these are going to be your best run fit zone plays. And what I mean by that is if I go ahead and add like cover 4 here to my audibles, let's say, and I am in baseline, by the way, what we're going to do here is when we get on the field, when we know they're going to be running here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hold, I think it's right trigger B. Yeah. And you guys are going to see these are our run fits. These are going to be the directions of which our defenders are going when the ball is snapped to go ahead and plug the gaps to get to the runner. Now, you guys see here, these corners out of a cover 2, these flats, they take this nice angle to try and get to the outside and then wrap up the running back from the outside. Now, how can we maximize our corners with this type of run fit? One thing I really like to do is press them. If you guys see, we go ahead and press the defense here. Now we have this run fit super close on this angle where, this tight end to the right all the way at the end, he's going to have to either flare out and try to block him, or he's going to come through clean. Now, where does this expose you? Well, this is going to expose you to the outside if somebody has speed and they want to go ahead and put a streak on the left side of the field and burn you over the top. So what you guys will see some people do is they'll go ahead and press this here, but then they'll go ahead and just zone out this DB in a deep zone. And then if they really want to commit to the run, maybe they go ahead and use this safety. And then they kind of change how this is. I don't think that zone run fit will actually stay the same since we changed it. That might be a graphical bug. But you guys see with the cover 2, you're going to have really good stock run fits against the run play. So if I know for sure somebody's running the football, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead press first. I'm going to go ahead and pinch my linebackers. I'm going to blitz all linebackers. I'm going to pinch my D-line, crash them in. So really all we're doing is ... and I'm already done. So it's just pinching and doing all that. We like to go ahead hover here just to really make sure, we're trying to pull these linemen out of the way. So if they try to go ahead and snap this ball here, we go ahead, get inside this gap, and then we have our corner there on the outside kind of containing the runner. So I'm not going to sit in instant replay all day, but I do want to talk about what this is supposed to look like right here. We go ahead, get to this gap, and we still have 2 defenders here, on the outside here to help us out. If you want to, if you are for sure they're going to run it, you can always just blitz this guy as well. So it looks something like this, like so. And then you guys are going to see if they try to run this, we're going to have, Trayvon Diggs just screaming off the edge to go ahead and help us out here to, secure the tackler. Now with cover 4, you guys are going to see the run fits are going to kind of come from the safety spot. So if we go ahead and fix this here and go ahead and show the run fit out of cover 4, you guys see how the safeties are going to attack. So if we wanted to go ahead and press the cover 4 and get our safeties on the outside here, we can kind of see how they're going to go ahead and plug. And then we know how to use our own player. So we know if we're, doing cover 4 like so, we go ahead and set up our blitz here. We kind of see where everybody else is going, where we can follow through. So if we know this is going to be a stretch to the right, we know here that Eric Kendricks is going to go ahead and hit this right tackle. So we can go ahead and get our user ready to go ahead and shoot in that area. Because we know Kendricks is going there, then we can go ahead and meet unblocked in that area of the field. Obviously, each run is going to be different because people are going to be pulling, they're going to be running trap plays, things like that. But really knowing your run fits, and in my personal opinion, knowing that cover 2 and cover 4 are going to be my best zone run defenses, I'm going to feel really confident going up against a runner, especially when I know I can bring these safeties down in a cover 4. And when they see that run, they're going to go ahead and bring their heads down. Even if I'm in coverage right here, I'm only going to send 3. We go and snap the ball, and these safeties are coming down rather quickly to try and make a tackle on the ball carrier. And it's nice to have that, that defense behind you to help you out. Even if you're unsure of where the run is going, you still have your safeties there to make a play. So right there, with multiple heavy run defenses, I'm really sitting in cover 4. Washington just doesn't really have the best run plays here, but really, the 3-4 odd is the GOAT, bro. 3-4 odd's the GOAT, and I don't need to use their safeties. I really don't. I'm very confident in this. Sometimes I do kind of play around with this guy and kind of put him in kind of off angles. You guys see right here, we unfortunately miss our tackles, but we just had 3 guys come through clean. So multiple runs, even if if they're if they're running bunch and they want to run something like an RPO, we can go ahead and do the bunch strong here, bunch strong offset, where, okay, well, I guess they don't have an RPO, but we can go ahead and just run inside zone anyway, because I can still tell you guys how we're going to go about an RPO. But, if we want to come out here and cover 4 drop, right, we know this is going to be a run. Like I said, we can go ahead and press, go pinch our linebackers, we can go pinch our D-line, crash down. And then if you guys want, you guys can go ahead and, put this outside linebacker here on a man assignment, walk him out, and then we're ready to go. Go ahead, get inside a gap shoot stance. That way we can go ahead, scrape to the sideline right here, and then help, go against this inside zone. So, like I said, knowing your run fits are going to be really helpful when you're trying to contain the run. RPOs in Madden 25 this year can be countered pretty well in just a man coverage assignment. So, since we know that Marquise Bell here is going to be shooting the left side, or actually it says he's going to go through the right side A gap. I kind of find that to be a lie, but we kind of know that area. He's either going to be going to either A gap. He kind of runs more to the left, so we can go ahead and scrape to the left and find that empty hole as to where we can fill. So just knowing your run fits are going to be great for you. Linebackers are so good this year too. They animate on picks. They have great hit sticks. Their weight helps a lot, especially getting off blockers. It's definitely more kind of feeling like a Madden 21 style defense for me, at least. I know they didn't animate as well then either, but just their role in the run game plays very, very well. So 3-4 odd is great. And listen, guys, like we were talking about with cover 3 is like my main defense, so that's what I'm going to be talking the most about. Cover 4 is pretty good as well, but we can still utilize our blitzing strategy like we had earlier, where if we want to go and do cover 3 sky here out of the 3-4, we can go ahead and press, set up our blitz, and then kind of go about coverages how we want. If we want to go ahead and put our outside line or our middle linebacker here in a hard flat, we can go ahead and do something like this, and now we have a nice little 4-man blitz where we go ahead and engage, peel off, and then go ahead and just let our 5-man rather get sheds. It's very, very versatile. The only thing I don't think I would run 3-4 odd against is probably trips, but you guys see we can go ahead and adjust this again, get our 5-man going, and then go ahead and play that hard flat on the right, peel off into coverage, and then we just go ahead and get our sheds going right there. I know Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons, but overall it can be really, really good. I would recommend 3-4 odd more against bunch and things like that, tight formations, like literally like tight, rather than trips, as trips is just going to spread you out a little more. It's going to be hard for your linebackers to have all that responsibility on them to play all of those different seam threats. But like we were saying, right here 3-3, I love 3-3 cover 3 drop. Sorry, that was a lot of threes. But, you know, against trips, one thing I really like to do if I want to play a lot of coverage, I'll go ahead and hop into 3-3. Like I said, linebackers animate, so this is going to be pretty universal. What we're going to do here is if we see we're in trips right now, I don't have trips tight end in this playbook, but really in 3-3 when I'm playing coverage, I'm always going to shift opposite of the running back. So in 3-3, I can go ahead and slide them to the right. I'll go ahead and man up this linebacker side to the seam threat. I can go ahead and user this linebacker here and kind of get him in the direction of the running back. So if they do want to try and run like an inside zone, like if I go ahead and do this here, I can go ahead and slide to or slide away from the running back, snap the ball here, and then I can go ahead and, you know, get inside the backfield just with, you know, 3 linemen shifted in the direction of the running back. And then if they want to try and run something, you know, we're going to have, you know, people all over this left side of the field. If they want to try and throw like a verticals, we're going to have our manned up receiver there. It's just, it's going to be tough for a lot of people. And if we're, you know, afraid that they might do, you know, a sideline beater, a kind of a flood to that side of the field, guys, we can always, like I said, you know, come out in a cover 2. It's just something I don't really base my, you know, defense out of. But something like this is going to be great for us, especially if we want to spy our user, so we can still gap shoot and things like that. We can go ahead and run this. You know, if you want hard flats, you can just make sure you go ahead and repurple that slot, so that way you have your underneaths covered. You have the slot corner playing the deep sideline. So if they want to try and run, you know, let's say combo like this will probably be a more realistic combo. You guys are going to be able to have that zone there for you. It's just your responsibility on this play is going to be the you know, the middle third of the defense. So you guys see, I mean, absolutely everything is bagged. With trips, the easiest thing I would say is to make sure the seam, the middle slot receiver, so in this case it's going to be number 80, he's secure. You need to make sure he's guarded. Anything else, guys, is going to be a deep corner, a deep post down the middle, or they're going to have to throw underneath with some type of zig or whip route. Trips can be very easy to stop against majority of players. You just need to watch your deep threats, deep down the middle, sideline. Everything else is going to be underneath or in RPO, but RPOs are ass now, so it's really not going to be a problem. Like I said, I really like cover 3, hard flat. We can go ahead and do a combo like this. This is going to be, you know, so many people online is just this, because if they even want to have anything running late, if they wanted to put RB here on a crosser, okay, I have to put them on a post, but let's say it's kind of a crosser route, right? We're going to have our hook curl literally just playing this. Let me get my user out of the way, and we can go ahead and just switch stick to him. It's kind of hard to do with 2 controllers, but these vertical hooks, man, these zone drops, you know, against these, you know, meta formations are going to change how you play defense. So please consider using them. I know that this video is full of digressions, and it's very unstructured, but I think it's going to be okay. I just don't really think there's anything groundbreaking in this year's Madden besides stem glitching, which is going to be gone any time now, I would assume. So with this type of philosophy of just blitzing the hell out of people, obviously the fine print of me is going to say mix it in, don't do it every single down. But listen, guys, your zone drops, the switch stick, you're going to be okay. This is really what I would run. Like I said, if they're still dotting you, you know, don't be afraid to go ahead, just mix in a cover 2. Something like this. Find the guy you want to man up when you are running that Mabel. Make sure against trips you guys are, you know, sliding as well. This is going to be one of the best coverages against trips, because we got to remember this guy, he's not just playing a vertical hook. He's playing a 20-yard vertical hook, which is going to discourage so many throws in this right side seam of the field as well, which is really going to help us out given the weakness deep down the middle. And like I said, once that ball's snapped, kind of play for a minute and then just kind of keep your user going upfield and something like that. Right there, that crosser, that man coverage guy is a linebacker against a receiver. He absolutely bagged his soul. So, you know, if they want to have route combos where they want to try and, you know, have that man guy beat deep down the middle, we're still going to have that coverage and we're still going to have our user in that portion of the field. As for blitzing in 3-3, I honestly think it's kind of ass. The one thing I talked about was the zero blitz. You can still do that here in 3-3 or out of cover 3. You're just going to have to go blitz all and then keep spam pressing until those linebackers get into their gaps, which I guess in practice mode it just doesn't want to work. But what you're going to do is something like this. But this is something you're obviously going to want to mix in because, I mean, yeah, that just looked terrible. I would avoid 3-3 blitzing. This is our coverage defense. Stay away from it. But if you must, linebacker blitz 0 can be decent. I just like to make sure these linebackers actually get in the gap, and then we can go ahead and just snap the ball and then, get our pressure like that. I've talked about it in our blitzing video. This can be a really good one just to scream out of with the linebacker blitz 0. Go ahead and just blitz all linebackers, let them go and snap while you're coming down, and then we'll go ahead and get our pressure like so. The way I'm snapping that early because that's typically what it looks like when you're trying to, get all your adjustments in. But if you have time, feel free to go ahead and just sit down here. I really don't think with this blitz it matters where you're sitting. You're going to get pressure because you're just sending so much. But if you're going to stay man blitzing, I would recommend probably just the double mug. But obviously, everyone's different. So guys, listen, if this video is terrible, please let me know. This is kind of an experiment video with how I want to teach the defenses. So if it is ass, please go down in the comment section and say, Collision, this video was ass and it was too unstructured. I didn't learn anything. If that's the case, I'm going to probably take this video down and I'll have it out again in a couple days in a more structured format. But for now, just kind of felt like, hey, I want to talk about it. I don't want it to be scripted or anything like that. I just want to get it out. I want people to take it for what it is. Maybe this is better. Maybe it's not. Please let me know. All feedback is welcome in this video. And be harsh. It's okay. I can take it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did learn something from the video. If you didn't, just know, let me know rather, and I will make a better video here in the next couple days and make sure you guys can learn what I'm trying to talk about here, because I really think, I'm not the best defensive player in the world, but I'm not having nearly as many problems as other people right now, and that's why I want to talk about it. I think we're actually doing pretty good on defense right now, and I think it's why we played so well inside of the kickoff challenge earlier in the year. So thank you guys so much for your time. I know this was a long video, but really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. If you guys need anything, let me know in the comments or let me know over on the Discord. It's very easy to reach me there, as sometimes I don't get the YouTube pop-ups on my phone. But yeah, love you boys. Hope this was beneficial to you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Love you guys. Peace.